Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. It has been well over a month since my last video, but I have a very special video about the Charlotte Hornets, obviously my favorite NBA team, and it's buy or sell Charlotte Hornets edition. And if you guys are unfamiliar about buy or sell, you guys are Patrick living under a rock. But basically, if I buy it, that means I believe that it's going to happen this season. And if I sell it, it's not going to happen or I don't see it happening. That's not to say that for the things that I sell on this list, because there is some controversial things I believe, that it's never going to happen, that it, just because I said it, it's not going to happen. Everybody has their own opinions about what's going to happen, and we don't really know what's going to happen this season. I mean, the Charlotte Hornets are one of the most unexpected teams this season. It's not like the Lakers where they're guaranteed like a top 3 seed if, without injuries, of course. The Charlotte Hornets are very unexpected on what they could do. They could be the top 4 seed or they could be out of the play-in. So let's go into the first one. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 buy or sells for you guys, and let's get it going. So my first one is a Charlotte Hornet will become an all-star this season, or will be an all-star this season, because obviously Gordon Hayward with the Jazz was an all-star, and I'm gonna buy that, guys. I'm gonna buy it, and it's not LaMelo, although he might get the popular fan vote out of all our players. It's not going to be Gordon Hayward, which had the best chance last year, in my opinion, averaging 20 a game. He wasn't injured the first half of the season, which was the All-Star break. He was averaging 20 a game, put the team on our back, multiple game winners. It's not going to be Gordon Hayward. It's going to be Terry Rozier, a guy that is showing his leadership not only in the media day yesterday, but over the summer in the Miami runs, bringing the whole team down. Even Ish Smith, like players that aren't going to get major minutes for us, invited the whole team down and had open runs. And I watched a couple videos on it, and he made a point that none other NBA team is doing this, and it's true. Like, you don't see the Lakers putting together their whole roster and going to one place and working out. Obviously, they're going to do it when training camp starts, but in the summer, when everybody has their own shit to do, because it's the summer, it's the off season, to get everybody down there, and for you to be the leader, to coordinate that and to run that and to open a gym for that, I think Terry Rozier shows his leadership, and from that leadership can display amazing progression throughout the season and be an all-star. That's just my opinion. The second one we have is Gordon Hayward will have a fully healthy season. Obviously last year, ankle sprain, I believe, had him out most of the second half of the season. He was iffy about whether or not he'd be in the play-in game. The year before that, the Celtics didn't have a full season. Year before that, I think that was the year he broke his leg. With the Jazz, I think he was mostly healthy with the Jazz. But you guys get what I'm saying. It's been years since we've gotten a full season from Gordon Hayward. So do I buy or sell this? I sell it. My criteria for this was that if he misses a few, let's say under 10 games, that's a fully healthy season in my book. And I just think with his fragile body, with being 31 or 32 years old, that something will happen. It's bound to happen. Some of the, Brandon Roy, other players just have a knack for getting injured. And it's not a bad thing per se about the player. Like, Gordon Hayward is an excellent player when he's on the court. It's just he's not always on the court. That's what I'm saying. So moving on, the next buy or sell will be Miles Bridges will further his improvement. So obviously last season, big breakout year for Miles Bridges, not only with the dunks and the highlights and ESPN replaying that one dunk over Clint Capella, but it was a big improvement year on his shooting and on his finishing, and showing his full range when everybody else on the team is out with injuries, which for about a month into the season, or not into the season, a month of the season, we had about 6 or 7 guys out with injuries, so he was kind of the guy we had to rely on the offensive end. And obviously he gets his fair share of steals on the defensive end, but that's not why he's out there on the floor. So will he further his improvement this season? I think he does, guys. I think he has all the pieces around him. He has LaMelo passing the ball, Terry Rozier dishing it to him. That even if he's starting or coming off the bench as the 6th or 7th man, I think it would be the 6th man if he's not starting over PJ Washington. I think he does get his fair share of minutes and scores at a high clip, at a high percentage, and does it pretty efficiently. The next one I have is, will James Bouknight be our 6th man? So my projective lineup is, LaMelo, Terry, and obviously Mason Plumlee at the center. But the small forward and power forward is where things get iffy. Obviously, whether or not you put Gordon Hayward at the small forward or power forward is up for debate. I would say the small forward. But then where do you put that power forward, guys? I don't know. We have Kelly Oubre Jr., who didn't like being a backup in Golden State. Probably going to be a backup here. That's someone who you could start at the power forward. You have Miles Bridges, who I just previously talked about, and you have PJ Washington coming up a heartbreak for his really weird girlfriend. So who will become our sixth man? I'm not totally sure, but one of those players who I haven't talked about is James Bouknight, the player that we drafted with the 9th pick. Does he become our sixth man? I'm gonna sell that. There's just too many guys on our roster that deserve playing time, and I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve his fair share of minutes, of course. But as a sixth man, as a rookie, above the likes of maybe a PJ Washington, Kelly Oubre, Ish Smith is going to get some of those guard minutes off the bench. I don't think he becomes the sixth man. And the last buy or sell I have today is, will Mason Plumlee be a quality starting big for us? And I'm going to buy that. I know that Mason Plumlee isn't what we dreamed of as Charlotte Hornets fans. We dreamed of the likes of trading for Miles Turner, signing Rashard Holmes, but we ended up trading on draft night Mason Plumlee, for Mason Plumlee. And I think he gives us quality minutes. I mean, what do I define as quality minutes? Just not fucking up too bad is what I define. And yeah, that's going to be it for me. Thanks, guys, for watching.